You've heard us talk about them. They're in, and they're on the website.
Absolutely. Our brand new America's Diesel podcast, branded bills, badass, flex fit, performance material, sweat stain resistant. It literally feels like it cools your head.
I don't know how that's
amazing.
possible, but somehow it is. Yeah, you can rock it. You know, I'm more of a flat bill kind of guy. You can do that. You can curve it. For all you taco holder guys, you can even throw that in there.
Yeah.
And then snap back with a little bit of the flex fit.
Yeah.
Big head approved, small head approved.
And it's extremely comfortable. I almost guarantee, I say almost guarantee. No, I guarantee this is the most comfortable hat you will ever wear. And the logo, rubber, awesome.
Yeah.
Came out great.
Super detailed rubber on there, so it's never going to fade on you. If you want to get one of these in your hands, they are $50, shipped to the lower 48, plus tax, if applicable in your state. Just go on the dieselpowerproducts.com, search hat, look for the fantastic Jam and Eagle logo, and pick yourself up some before they're out of stock.
Yeah.
You're listening to America's Diesel Podcast.
Tyler,
Yeah.
how'd you like the song request?
Okay. Yeah. So that was called Metal. What's
Heavy
it called?
Metal.
Heavy Metal.
From Bring Me the Horizon.
Dug it. Banger. I've
you
listened to it like 1,000 times.
Good.
You like the beatbox solo?
I do.
That's rad, right?
Well, I just listen. I like when there's like a hip hop kind of beat to it, but then there's like rock, like metal, like guitar shit. Like those two combined, like is way better than like country rap. Like although there are some like rap-ish beats, right, with country music that are okay. They sound freaking badass. Like I've got a couple songs I can probably show you that are like, okay, that's cool. But like, there's something about that song makes me like, yeah. Like it gets me going. It truly does.
It does. For those of you that don't know, the band is called Bring Me the Horizon. The song is called Heavy Metal. Corey, and what's the 5-minute synopsis history on that?
Essentially, it's a big fuck you to the fans that got pissed off that they weren't as heavy as they used to be. So they said fuck you and brought in a beatboxer to do like a backing track and a solo, and then made the song at the end almost one of the heaviest parts of any song they've ever done.
Yeah, it's a cool song. I like it.
Yeah. For those of you wondering, also, Bring Me the Horizon is probably one of the most dynamic music groups. I would say band, but also group, whatever you want to call it, that in modern day.
Yeah.
100%. I would highly recommend you check out some of their stuff or all of it. They've got something for everybody. What I did is I made a Bring Me the Horizon artist only station on Pandora.
Yeah.
And I legitimately listened to the entire thing without skipping and was thoroughly happy.
Wow. I should try that on my Pandora.
Like they have everything from the thing with artist only. I haven't figured out how to make artist only stations on my phone. It has to be like on your computer to find the setting for some reason for me.
So what would you do in Pandora?
You go to the artist and then you can create
a station off of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but then
they'll play other artists though too.
Yeah, but then there's an option if you're it
Oh,
may very well be in the app.
Just artist, this artist, just
Yes, you can select this artist
yeah.
only. And for some reason I can only do that when I'm on a computer. I can't do it on my phone.
Huh.
I don't know what it is.
Since you like the rock rap kind of Mass Wolf, Bring Me the Horizon, Fallout. That's your next one.
Oh God. Hold on. I need to already add it to my
You do that, I'll get the intro out of the way.
Okay. This week's podcast episode is brought to you by Fuel Bomb Diesel Additive, an additive designed for diesel enthusiasts, made by diesel enthusiasts. Ben, take it away.
Hell yeah, dude. So this is our in-house Fuel Bomb fuel additive for your diesel truck. Our biggest thing here is making sure that you can pretty much always have diesel additive on you all the time. You've got a lot of other additives out on the market that they have, anti-gel in there all the time. They have cetane in there all the time. They end up being big and bulky bottles. Our standard everyday diesel fuel additive is 1 ounce per 32 gallons, and that's its main job is to make sure that your fuel system stays lubricated and prevents the formation of algae. And it should also help you in colder climates too.
Should definitely help you in colder climates. Along with cleaning your fuel system and maintaining it, it'll also help you bump that cetane number up for a more efficient burn of your diesel fuel. And if cetane is just what you're after, there's the Fuel Bomb Hellfire, which is our straight 8+ cetane enhancer.
Yeah, and you guys asked, and we brought them back. We did go away from the bottles that didn't have the measuring little parts in there. We brought them back for you, so now you can measure out your 1 ounce per 32 gallons for the F-Bomb or 4 ounces per 32 gallons for the Hellfire.
Both these additives are available on our website, dieselpowerproducts.com. Now let's get back to that episode.
Hey, everybody, this is Ben and Tyler from Diesel Power Products. Thanks for tuning in. It's America's Diesel Podcast. Why did I start that way? That's not the way we do the intro. Thanks
What's it
for tuning in.
called?
This is Ben and Tyler
Fallout?
from... What's that?
Fallout?
Yeah.
Okay.
Banger. But everything's a banger.
True.
Spokane, Washington. That's where we are. Make sure and check us out on all.
Killing it.
I know. Make sure and check out all of our podcast avenues to find our podcast. You can find it by searching America's Diesel Podcast.
We're in the States.
I fucked this intro up so bad.
Duh, we do podcasts that sell diesel parts.
Yeah.
This is my future. This is my legacy.
Let's see if you can do the reviews.
Reviews, yes, that's right. Reviews are very important. Please send a 5-star review. Dude.
Fucking
Leave
terrible.
a 5-star review on anything, any
On anything. Just 5-star, 5-star, 5-star.
Screenshot that, send to podcast at
Put a
dieselpowerproducts.com.
5-star review on my toaster and I sent it and got a sticker.
Just making the world a better place, all right? Everybody gets 5 stars.
And this is why we don't want to pre-record these.
Send to podcast at dieselpowerproducts.com.
You got that right.
And we will send you a sticker that looks like this eagle here. 10 points if you tell me his name. Check out our... Oh, hey, you do the rest.
And if you're not ordering diesel parts, what the hell's wrong with you? You need to be ordering from dieselpowerproducts.com. We have live technicians on the phone. Live people. They have hearts. They have souls. They have thoughts. They have dreams. They have trucks. And they will
Peyton
get you the
does not have a
right
soul.
part. Huh? I'm killing it.
No, Peyton's a ginger.
on.
He doesn't have a soul. You
back-
just
back up.
lied.
You lied.
4 out of 5 have souls. Okay.
Accurate.
4 out of 5 have souls. And guess what? If you're not ordering from dieselpowerproducts.com, then fuck you.
Suck my...
No, send me an email and I will not respond to it, but I will show up at your house with a rather large knife. Somebody call it a machete.
Machete.
I don't know. It'll
you
be a
you
larger.
skipped a huge part, but you're killing this
Yeah.
portion.
Oh, yeah. And if you do order from us, from dieselpowerproducts.com, make sure to tell them that you listen to this fucking shit show. In the notes, just put, I listen to the shit show. What do you get from us? Nothing. You'll get a salute. And you might
Barely.
get one of these.
For those of you that
It all
are
helps
not
us
watching,
out so you know that we're just not here drinking beer and screwing off. We're actually here drinking beer, screwing off, and making money. Which, unfortunately, money makes the world go around. Let's get this show started, baby.
I am motivated.
That was kind of a...
That was good.
You want to hear something funny? I actually answered the phone today, America's Diesel Podcast.
Ah, fuck.
shit.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
It was right after we were done talking about podcast stuff.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I answered the phone. I was like, America's Diesel Power Products.
So, yeah, there you go.
All right. Let's get this show on the road.
Okay.
Okay, we're just going to handle a bunch of little topics here. Maybe not little topics, but I did make a post on our Facebook group, which is what Tyler forgot to talk about. We did a Facebook group. Search America's Diesel Podcast, dash the group. Answer the 3 questions. Yes, you must answer them. There are many right answers, many wrong answers. Answer them correctly. I will let you, and I only will either let you in or decline you. Fact. Keep the bots out. That's what I'm here for. But I did make a post. I wanted some podcast topic suggestions, and I copied a whole lot of them down. Well, actually, I copied pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
And some of them are just kind of quick hitters.
Yeah.
So,
Not long enough for a whole episode.
yeah. Maybe you think they are, but I'll be honest. You may find
Excuse
that
me.
we answer them right now, and you're like, shit, that was the only answer. So let's get this show on the road. One of them was build your own truck, your interior, drivetrain, engine, etc.
Okay.
So, and we'll say there's no budget. Obviously, we're not
No.
building like a SEMA truck or something like that,
No.
but just like no budget.
How
building
in
truck.
depth are we trying to get here? Are we going to do like rear end, front end, or just like drivetrain in general, engine? like engine
I'll
and
let you
transmission.
go. You can select.
I think we do. Well, you say what you're gonna say.
Okay,
Sorry.
I was gonna say you can select a whole truck's drivetrain and like edit a part if you want to. You can say like,
Okay.
I like the new Ford axles and everything like that, but I'm more of a Sterling guy, so I want the new Illuma-Duty drivetrain, but I want a Sterling in the back,
Gotcha.
something like that.
Okay. So, where do we start?
All right, let's start with the engine, man.
Start with the engine. I'd be hard pressed between a Cummins and a 6.7 Power Stroke, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we've
Cummins?
done
Which Cummins?
5.9
Common rail.
Common. Yes.
Oh, didn't see that one coming.
Okay.
Which I agree with. Okay.
Okay, but at the same time, the horsepower level of like a new Power Stroke is like double, almost double.
Yeah, but also, I mean, if this is build your own truck, they didn't necessarily specify if you can't already, crank up the engine.
Sure.
Right.
I'd still be hard pressed because the 6.7s run damn good.
They get down.
I would take the transmission though.
Oh,
out of a
10R.
six-
I think
yes.
you and I both would.
Yeah,
no
10R.
matter- I can tell you.
Okay.
Mine has a 10R.
So we got transmission.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What are we putting in front of it? We have to come to an agreement here.
Engine.
Yeah, engine. Are we doing? Man,
I think
what do you think?
a 550 horse 5.9 Commercial with a 10R.
That'd be pretty dope.
Either a single or a small set of compounds.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get down with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so
you
we got
can
engine,
take from that
transmission.
what you will, is like supporting fuel modifications and whatnot. But it would be basically, I want a perky 550, which is attainable,
Yeah.
and the 10R.
Okay. Chassis, suspension, drivetrain.
I think we're both pretty much in agreement on that.
What?
Well, it's gonna be Ford.
Yeah.
Just
Like I said, Cummins has never really hit the ball in the head with the. Although I do like AAM axles, they have proven themselves to be
they have.
a very good axle that is not too expensive to build.
Mhm. They're also easy to set up too.
Easy to set up.
So I would say Ford drivetrain, get yourself a nice Super 60. I would want the new Ford F450 chassis running gear.
Yeah.
Because they have that nice tight turning radius,
Yeah.
and a Super 60 in the front. But actually, I don't know if I would swap out the rear end. Those things have like a M300 in there or something like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty beefy rear end.
Right. Okay, I could get down with that. I mean, it doesn't. When it comes to those type of components, like Ford's already proven itself as pretty stout, and same with Ram. I mean, honestly, if we just talk about just like axles, short of like steering and that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, they're even the 9 1/4 front and the 11.5 have been a proven platform. But
I mean, there are plenty of sled pull trucks that have Cummins that are making
100%.
ungodly amounts of torque, just beat the
100%.
fuck out of stock.
But if we were to
axles.
build the ultimate truck, I think I would agree with you on that. So we're keeping the Ford transmission, the Ford chassis, the Ford drivetrain.
specifically, I want the Illuma-Duty F450 chassis
Okay. Body.
body.
I'm gonna go 5th gen Cummins, baby. I just love the look of those trucks. I
do like the
truly
look
do.
of them too.
I love the headlights aren't too big. The grill isn't like everything has gotten bigger on the new trucks. But with Ram, they've kept the headlights tight and clean, and the whole front end setup. I yes, I'm biased because I have one, but I just think they look so good. They look so good.
I have a hard time not going with a really nicely color matched 05 to 07 Ford. I love the way
I would
those
do a
look.
5th gen Ram color matched over that.
I don't know if we have to agree on everything on here, but I would.
I think we need to. So you're telling me you think the look of a 05 color matched Super Duty is a better looking truck than a 5th gen Ram color matched?
I kind of think so, yeah.
Oh my God.
I kind of do.
This dude's freaking drunk over here.
I mean, with some tasteful upgrades, obviously, we got 08 to 16 mirrors
Can we pull
on
up
there.
2 pictures? Can we pull up 2 pictures, please? Just do 5th gen, like do a 2020 Ram $3,500 color matched front end. I don't know.
Let's. Okay, what about interior?
Interior? I kind of like the Ram interiors on the new trucks, man. Their dash, the seat. I mean, you have to hand it to Ram because they definitely have upped their game to be competitive with. Like, look at that gray truck. Yeah, like look at that front end. Like that's freaking hot.
All right, that is pretty cool.
That's pretty sexy.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
You know what? I'm not saying that it's like a hands down, but it's like a 4951.
Hey, that's all that matters is majority, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, interior wise, I do like the screens. The Rams kind of got it going on with that. Like I do like the look of it. I am a Ford fan though as well. Ford's interiors have always.
I like the Illumi Duty interiors.
They're
I
nice.
Really do.
They're nice.
Yeah.
They're nice. What if we did a mix? What if we did a Ram dash with Ford seats?
I was just going to mention that. I was like, I do feel that
We're the same person.
I know, same body. I do feel that Ram, as far as the interior goes, it's the dash and whatnot. It still feels nice and everything like that, but it still feels slightly more truck than the Ford one does.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them absolutely shit on the GMs as far as feeling like a truck. We all know that. But I would say that one slightly edges out a Ford dash. But yeah, the Ford, as far as like
their seats,
creature comforts, and like seats,
their seats are nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like their seats. I'll agree with you there.
And I will say this may be nitpicking. I still wouldn't necessarily change.
What headliner would you run?
A normal headliner, maybe with a sunroof, a panoramic roof. I don't fucking know.
One with LEDs poking through, so it looks like stars when you look up.
No.
Mark.
No.
I would do that and then just have like the constellation of Uranus.
If I could design it and I could have my own thing on there, but what is that? It's Jupiter. Why Jupiter? It's the biggest planet in our solar system. Why? Yeah.
What is that?
I like it.
What is that constellation? What's Uranus?
Yeah. It's Perseus.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got interior, body, engine, trans, drive. That's basically a whole truck.
Yeah.
Would you do any of the? Well, if we're using the Ram body, that counts for the bed too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'll be honest. That's kind of how I thought it was going to go before we even started talking.
Okay, done. We solved it.
The only I knew that we were going to do Ford interior. I knew it was going to be Ford drivetrain. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 5.9 Commonrail. And if Tyler doesn't think to mention a 10R, once I do, he'll be like, oh yeah, so whatever I said, fuck that.
Yeah. Okay.
So there you go. There's your answer there.
Done.
Okay. Now these next two kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But it says top 5 diesel engines to make power with unlimited budget, and top 5 diesel engines to make power budget minded. So top 5 engines to make power unlimited. Number 1, 5.9 Commonrail. Fact. Fact. Number 2, 6.7 Commonrail.
Well,
Cummins. I don't know what unlimited. I don't know what power number they're shooting for. It just said that. So
unlimited budget. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's so many iterations of Cummins you can do to make huge power with no budget, and you just got to look at like what are people running that are Drake. So there's obviously a lot of Duramax power platforms that make a bunch of power. Top 5, golly.
So we got 5.9 Commonrail. Would you say 5.9 P pump? Unlimited budget. Next one.
Yeah. And then Duramax guys are going to be pissed off because they're going to be like, well, there's Duramaxes out there making huge power. So maybe do like an LBZ.
And then a 6.7 Commonrail.
Well, golly, man.
But it's all unlimited.
I know
budget.
it's all
That's
unlimited, so it's like what?
Well, we can't forget a 6.4 Power Stroke.
These are unlimited. Yeah, I mean unlimited budget. I mean, Listen, how about we
say
just, how about we
smart
do this?
unlimited.
The best engine to make power with unlimited budget. I'm going to say just Cummins, the 5.9 Common Rail Cummins. And then the most power you can make budget minded would be a 12 valve Cummins P pump. Like you can make power with a freaking set of hand tools.
It's true, but they don't necessarily say what power.
I know,
I think
so
the
that's
next version of the question may be a little bit better. Let's say top 5 diesel engines to make power, budget minded. So, I mean,
well, I'm still with 12 valve P pump Cummins. I mean, if you're looking at a budget and to make power, you could literally turn it up in your driveway with zero money.
Yeah, I mean, you can add up to, I'd say, almost 100 horsepower with the tools you have in your garage.
Yeah.
Beyond there,
obviously
turbo
you got
and injectors,
transmission and stuff to deal with and all that. But as far as making power with the engine, I mean that's going to be the cheapest to make the most power. Like it costs you nothing to make 100 horsepower. Like as long as you have tools, you can make power. So that's like the top.
The hard thing is they didn't say like what power number, just says to make power, right? Yeah. Can we say that if it's to make power budget minded, 550?
When I hear the term make power, it's at least 500 horsepower.
I agree. Well, that kind of shoots one of mine out of the budget.
Or you just buy 6-7 Power Stroke, a new one, and it's already 500 horsepower. So
but that's not budget minded.
Yeah.
Because I do think, and this is not me just being a 7.3 fan, but as far as like to get a 7.3 like woken up, it does not cost a lot. Intake, tuner, exhaust.
True.
And it feels like an entirely different animal.
It does.
But then again, I mean, you can take a screwdriver to a P pump and probably still walk it.
Yeah. Maybe that's a full episode. We thought it was.
Maybe that is an episode. I don't know. Well, we'll have to circle back to that one.
Yeah.
Well, we might have to get some clarifications on there as far as like what's the power number.
Yeah.
And budget minded, like what kind of budget?
Because that truly does make a difference. Because
are we talking shoestring?
Yeah.
Because if your budget's $10,000, you can take a 5.9 Common Rail with an extra $10,000 and really get kind of buck wild.
Get funky.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna table that one. Come back. Doomsday truck.
Ooh. Well, I would do a VE 12 valve.
I think you and I both would.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably thinking to yourself, "Oh, why not a P pump?" You guys just talked about a P pump. Blah, blah,
no,
blah.
they're great. We're talking doomsday. We're talking simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get much more simpler than that engine. And the fact that it'll run on like fucking vegetable oil.
I think I don't know if we're allowed to swap parts here, but I do prefer the running gear of a P pump truck than a first gen.
Sure. Yeah, I mean you can get a Dana 80 and basically it's a Dana 60. Is it 60 up front?
No.
Yeah. Or 50? Dana 50?
Front axle on a second gen.
Yeah.
Why am I having the biggest fucking?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
now?
it's like either a Dana 50 or a Dana 60.
Because they didn't start the AM, the 9 1/4 till third gen.
Yeah.
And the front axle.
It's a Dana 50 or 60.
Okay. I might Google that real quick.
Go for it.
So and it's not to I feel like I'm dropping the ball here.
I think some of them had 50s and some of them had, if it was a truck that had a Dana 80 in the back, it had a Dana 60 in the front.
Okay, but we're both pretty much in agreement of the VE pump.
Yeah.
Dodge Ram.
Just go to our website and look at the parts for it.
This one's going to be better. Durango, halftime. I know, right? Front axles. Okay. 2500 light duty. Yeah, Dana 60.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep. So you can't go wrong with that. I mean, the worst problem is you got center axle disconnect that is vacuum operated. You can delete it. But as far as, I mean, a VE, even the VE, like what do the VE trucks have? A 60 in the back? What the hell do they have?
That's a good question. I was
Or
more
a
thinking-
70?
I think that was 70. Some really old weird shit. 150. Ram Charger front.
So 89 through
85. That's a Ram Charger. Oh, 75 to 93, Dana 60. That would
Okay.
be the W250, 350.
And what's the rearward? I bet you it's a 70.
It's probably set. Yeah.
I just like the 80 because you get. Is it 70 full float with the? I don't think the 7. Is it 70 full float? I don't
Should
think.
be.
Maybe it is. I know the 80s were. Dana 80 is a fantastic axle.
Looks like it could have been either or. It was either a Dana 60 full float rear or a Dana 70.
Okay. Still good axles. I mean, as far as
yeah.
a doomsday truck, again, you got minimal electronics. Like we're talking battery power.
Yeah. Well, and if you're new to this topic, typically Doomsday Truck there was just no electronic anything. There was the EMP
Yeah.
came through, and if it wasn't in a Faraday box or Faraday protected, everything electronic is now done.
Yeah. Anything with like a
Cannot be
board.
used.
Yeah.
So that's why the first thing is usually going to a mechanical engine, and a mechanical engine being that like everything is run mechanically. There's no electronics controlling anything, which is going to be your P pump and your VE pump 5.9 12-valve engines.
Yep.
And both of those, they need battery connection to start it.
Yeah. 12 volts.
12 volts to start it, and it will, as long as you keep giving it fuel and it has oil,
It'll still run.
it will keep running.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah.
Like you either have to choke it. Yeah, you legitimately, like the way that it shuts off, it chokes itself.
It just cuts off. It cuts off all the fuel.
Yeah.
There's a fuel shutoff solenoid that when you turn the key off, it springs back to, like the spring back location is no fuel, and so that's like a lot of people if they have starting issues with a 12 valve, a lot of it comes down to a fuel shutoff solenoid that's not working.
Hmm.
It's pretty easy to check. You turn on the key, you should look down in there and see if it opens it up. If it doesn't move when you turn the key on, then it's not working. And there's people that'll even put they'll just get rid of the solenoid and just put a pull cable.
Yeah.
I mean, they're that simple. So
That would be a
as far as-
positive air shut off.
yeah, as far as well, not necessarily because it's not shutting off the air. You're shutting off the
pull
fuel.
cable for the shut off solenoid. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
for the fuel. But it's just a lever that shuts the fuel off. You're done. So as far as a doomsday truck, yeah, that would be it. And again, too, they're very unlike. I mean, I know P pumps will do it, but unlike a VP truck or a common rail truck, as far as running alternative fuels in a doomsday situation, a VE truck, they're just more stout, I guess, when it comes to alternative fuels
Mhm.
that you could run to make it go.
Yeah.
So
That
boom,
that
done,
would be the
solved.
Yep. Let's see here. All right, this is going to be basically aftermarket, like fast or air dog style lift pumps for Huey trucks, Huey truck 7360s. The two most popular are going to be obviously fast and air dog because they're the most popular for all the other trucks and everything like that too. But when you start getting into specifically Huey trucks and especially the OBS trucks, there are a lot of other smaller manufacturers out there. Driven Diesel makes
Yep.
a lot of great stuff. Irate makes stuff. There's Marty's E-Fuel. There's 444 Fab. And when some of those you may have never even heard of before, and that's because they're like a very small, like one-man show.
Yep.
But it's very, a lot of the questions get asked on, 7.3 and 6.0 stuff, especially the OBS stuff, because the OBS was a mechanical lift pump. Just getting the fuel from the tank to the engine and then making sure that it's proper pressured and that how you're worried about your return and regulating your return. You obviously hear a lot of stuff talk about regulated returns.
Yeah.
In my experience, from what I've learned behind the counter since 2014, and keep in mind, I did not know about this till several years being behind the counter.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, the most simple way to run a properly, like a regulated return fuel supply system is going to be an AirDog, was it AirDog 5G, with a CNC Fab 4-line feed kit. Just straight up.
Yeah, because they have built-in regulators on those pumps.
And the 4-line feed kit from CNC fits, down low in the valley, gets rid of the fuel bowl, feeds fuel to both sides of the fuel galleys in the heads. So it's regulated pressure from the pump all the way. And that's where a lot of people get confused. Well, where do I regulate it from? Well,
it's being regulated at the pump instead of after on the return side. Because you could regulate it from the return side and basically create a restriction that's building pressure. Or you can regulate it at the pump side and just make it have that pressure from the beginning.
Yes. And especially now that the 5G has that adjustable diaphragm regulator on there, which is basically a regulator that would come in a regulated return.
Yeah.
It's really trick. So any of the fuel that it does not need, it returns it back to the tank at the pump.
Yeah.
And
instead of at the engine.
Yeah. And then supplies that perfect, say 65 PSI from that pump all the way to the 4-line feed, splits off to both sides, takes care of it. Boom. Done.
Yeah. The only difference is you don't have that fancy gauge in your valley.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, you could still put a gauge in there if you want.
If you wanted to, but it's already regulated at the pump. So
yeah.
Good job, Ben.
Pardon me. The other question that we get on there that I get is because a lot of that stuff will use either a suction tube or key into the factory fuel basket in the tank. The only company I know of that makes a drop-in, because in my stupid head, if the pump is pulling, say, from a 5/8 tube and then pushing to the engine with a 1/2 inch, in my mind, there should never be anything between the pump and the liquid diesel fuel that is less than 1/2 inch.
Right.
Well, your stock fuel basket has less than 1/2 inch in there, or possibly from the tank to the pump is less than 1/2 inch. The only company I know of, and we don't sell them, but I buy parts from them all the time because they carry stuff that we just don't and more than likely won't. Riffraff down in Oregon, Clay, great guy. They do make a high volume drop-in fuel basket that gets rid of those stupid filters in the tank that always clog, gets rid of that umbrella in there that always disintegrates and causes issues, and just pulls directly from the bottom of the tank. I want to say it's a 5/8. It's an integrated return as well, but it's a 5/8 tube, metal pipe pulling from the bottom all the way to the top. Put your return in there, and the return pipe that comes down to it kicks off to the side a little bit, so you're not disturbing the fuel right where you're picking up from. But that I will, unless somebody that we sell comes out with one, CNC, please, then I will be buying one of those and putting them in the Excursion.
Done. Solved.
Done. Fact. Let's see. These two kind of go hand in hand here. Rust control and preventative in the Rust Belt, and how to really clean your truck after winter.
So as far as the rust prevention, I am not a fan of these places that advertise like undercoating on like your on everything.
Yeah.
Because they're not very I guess clean with it. They kind of just spray everything. Which will it protect you? Yes. But it's kind of nasty shit.
It is. And the only reason I may not be totally opposed to that is, and you got to keep in mind, like me and Tyler do not live in a rust heavy area.
Yeah.
Okay. They do not use actual salts on the roads. They use mac chloride, which still does stuff, but we don't have what you guys have in the East.
Yeah.
Where you guys are like, truck beds are rusting off and they're 2 years old.
Right.
Like we don't have that shit. So if it was me and I'm like sitting there going like, do I have this like ugly, goopy undercarriage? Or do I potentially have to replace body mounts in 2 years on my new truck?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I take the goopy shit,
Yeah, I mean, if you're that concerned about it, then you should be able to run down to the auto parts store and get some rust preventive paint, spray can shit, and go down there and see the spots that are like the worst affected, and make sure you clean it up real good and spray, a couple layers of that shit on there. I think for one, it's more focused versus them just spraying this goop. Like, what is it, like Zybart or whatever the hell they do? I don't know. It's almost like a bed liner underneath the truck, which, again, that's fine if you never plan on like working on it. I mean, you know, because they're not discriminate when it comes to like bolts and that sort of thing. So
they'll spray shock bodies.
they'll
spray everything.
I think you get more bang for your buck just going to the auto parts store and getting some rust preventative paint, and doing it yourself in a focused manner on certain things. I think that's going to be more beneficial for you. And it's super cheap. You can just go buy a couple cans of it and do it once a year. You know, hop onto the truck after winter's over and you know, and clean it up and put a good coating on there. And like I said, when I say don't just like spray it once and call it good, like spray it, let it cure, put another coat on, let that cure, maybe put another coat on, like empty the freaking can, like it, but being more focused with it on where you're getting instead of just doing everything. Because I mean, there's some aluminum components on there that, I mean, yeah, you might get some corrosion on, but it's not gonna, well, I guess it could deteriorate just as fast. But you're just more focused with it with a can, you know, and you could tape stuff off, whatever you want to do, and still keep your underside looking clean without having this gunk everywhere.
Yeah. Those of you in the Rust Belt, like, let us know what you guys do. Like,
I mean, I know
excited to hear.
In the hot rod world, they've got, oh God, this is straight up from my memory here, but there's like these pads or these things you could put on that are like positively charged that are not, I don't know what it is, but it's, have you seen those before? Mm-hmm. They're, I know like Jegs and like Summit Racing sell them for like classic cars, but it's like a rust preventative. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's a thing you can put on like a frame or like a body in it. It helps with that for like older cars. I know those are options out there. I mean, the best option would be like pull the body off and like powder coat the frame, and like powder coat everything.
Get yourself a winter car.
Yeah. But see, yeah, right there, there's that electronic rust prevention module. From what I remember, it was like a pad thing. It's kind of weird, but like I said, we don't really have to deal with that up here, so it's not something I've really looked in depth into. But there is options out there.
And the next one on there is how to really clean your truck after winter. If it were, and again, me and Tyler don't live directly in that stuff, but if it were me and I had, say, a newer truck and I was living in that area, I would 100%, and I may be totally wrong on this, but I would 100% have one of those yearly memberships to an automated car wash, and I would take that thing through once a week minimum, maybe every other day, just to knock all that salt off. Because what really kills this rust, these trucks and stuff like that, is when you're like, let's say you go through this, like you have a winter, like say in Wisconsin or something like that, or somewhere it's really cold, where it's like legitimately like below freezing for months. Your car never gets it, or your vehicle never gets a chance to thaw out. You have this salt stuck with ice frozen to certain spots, just sitting there, eating and never getting a chance to breathe and never getting a chance to get washed off. And that's where the car wash comes in. Being able to, and it's not because you're trying to get your car clean, it's because you're trying to knock all that shit off from underneath. Yeah. I would do that like legit once a week, every other day or something like that. That would be important.
Or I would say, if you have someone, around you that does, auto detailing, and, tell them like, hey, I really want you to focus on the underside of the truck. Like I want to make sure all this salt and all that road grime and shit is out of there. In the spots where it could potentially cause rust happening, spend that extra money for that one like deep cleaning with a professional that knows what they're doing, because you'll be shocked on like how clean your rig will actually get with like a person that's actually spending time and doing it, rather than just rolling through a machine. It'll work. It'll do it, but it's not as focused. Just like the rust preventative thing, it's not as focused as an actual person with a pressure washer going in and making sure that they're getting those areas that those spray bars from underneath are missing. Yeah, totally. You see that microprocessor? It's a microprocessor that generates a repetitive pulsing surface current, which reduces the oxidation of metal. The current is distributed to both sides of the car's sheet metal panels, including floorboards and above the window line. Wow. electronic thing. I've seen these before. Like,
If anybody uses one of these, let us know if it works or not.
yeah,
I mean, it seems like it would be a good idea and a smart way to do it.
I think a lot of people use it on. It's more of a classic car thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't freaking know.
I can tell you, for me, as far as like washing it, I always do a really deep clean after winter. Interior, outside, that's when it gets the really good wash. You know,
Yeah.
once we get that final last kind of rain out of the way,
Yeah,
you got to get that grime off. And I will try to get, you know, I might go through a car wash maybe once or twice through the winter, just because around here, like you get the snow on the ground, it gets dirty, and your car just gets so damn dirty driving
Yeah.
around that like it's not so much that like I'm trying to have a clean car. It's like I feel bad with that. All that shit just caked on there.
yeah. How many more we got? I gotta pee.
We got like one more.
Do we really?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hold it.
This one is
dear.
when to use 4 high and when to use 4 low.
4 high. I mean, you could use it if it's wintry out and the roads are icy, and you notice yourself not maintaining traction. 4 high is good. 4 high is good for like anything over like I would say like 30 miles an hour or more. 4 low, anything like 30 miles an hour or less.
I would say
and
even less than that.
I'm probably less than that with 4 low.
4 low should, if you, what's the best way to put this without sounding like a major asshole? If you are an off-roader, then you are not asking this question.
Yeah.
Because you obviously know what the real difference is between using 4 high and 4 low in off-road situations. If this is purely just like someone who drives and needs 4-wheel drive on the road and they're trying to figure out when do I use 4 low?
You will use 4 low very minimally.
Yes, and I'm talking like less than 1% of the time that you use 4 high.
I can tell you the one time I've only put my truck in 4 low. We were at this camping spot, and it was like our friends had got an Airbnb, but they let campers on like the side of the house, right?
Mhm.
And the way that I had to get my camper in there with my truck, I had to kind of like go in their like grassy area, and I'm like, gosh, I really don't want to tear up their shit. I'm gonna put it in 4 low
Mhm.
and kind of just creep, real slow and back this trailer up because I
Yeah.
don't want to spin tires on their grass. I want the because that's going to give you all the torque. It's going to be multiplied by the gear ratio, and it's going to give you all the power with minimal movement.
Yeah.
So you're going to use that very sparingly, unless you're again if you're trying to move weight, or maybe even pull someone out of a sticky situation. Possibly you would use 4 low in that situation. If they're really stuck, most of the time 4 high is going to get it done for you.
Yeah. In my eyes, like you should never be going over like 7 miles an hour in 4 low.
Yeah,
Like-
I mean, you'll notice it too because your RPMs are going to raise extremely fast,
Yeah.
and you're not going to be moving.
Yeah. And especially if you have an automatic, like, and you'll notice like, okay, to even get into 4 low, I have to be in neutral.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you put it in neutral, you click into 4 low, and you see the light come on and whatnot. And then you may be on the brake how you normally would be just to stop.
Yeah.
And you'll put it in 4 low, and it'll start creeping on you. Like
Yeah.
you got to
Oh, yeah.
stand like 2 foot
Yeah.
on it to keep it from moving.
They
Like,
got- Torque multiplication from the gear ratio that the
Yeah.
transmission is being put in, and the transfer case to give you maximal amount of power at the lowest RPM possible.
yeah. And then you'll like touch the throttle, and it'll
What?
it'll basically go like, yeah, it'll throw you in the back. You feel like a truck does a wheelie.
Yeah.
It'll be nearly redlining, and you'll be going like
and then you'll break an axle.
you'll be going like 4 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
you let off and it goes,
Yeah. So if you're like maybe towing a heavy boat out of a boat launch
Mhm.
or something, you put it in 4 low, you just creep right out of there. Instead of spinning tires. So if you notice in 4 high you're spinning tires on like a boat ramp or something with a heavy boat, then put it in 4 low and you can just creep up.
and that goes for you guys, even if you have manual hubs,
Yeah.
and it's not so much that you have to have 4-wheel drive to crawl up there, but you may just need to be able to get that torque multiplier down.
Yeah.
BD
makes a great product for a lot of modern trucks, which is they call it a
too low unlock.
the 2 low unlock, where
Yeah.
you can put it in 4 low, but you flip the switch and it'll keep basically the front axle from locking. So you have a basically a 2 low,
Mhm.
which is which is sometimes handy if you need it.
Well, and they market it as, backing trailers in.
Yeah.
If you need to, have a nice, slow, steady, smooth, you put it in too low.
Yep.
Put it in reverse and just go very slow.
Yep.
You're not binding up the front axle by turning sharp or anything like that. You just kind of let it do its thing.
Yeah.
And get there.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's about going to wrap this one up. We greatly appreciate all you guys tuning in. And if you have suggestions or want some of these topics covered, the best place to hop on and do that is going to be on our Facebook page. Got to answer the questions to get into the page, though. Yay, dig. Gatekeeper.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to wrap this one up, guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one.
I want to give him a peace. Peace out.
Peace.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at dieselpowerproducts.com.